want to welcome all you bankers, insurance bankers, whether it's midday or in the evening, either one. I'm glad you're here. We want to get started down the road of helping you think like a banker mentality, and about your money. And so this is all about money principles. Today we're going to start kind of a basic level, and my ultimate goal for you is to attain a accredited investor status and level within 10 years. And we're going to talk about investors, real estate investor, of which I've been for 45 years, and also lenders, side hustle business people that have an interest in doing a side business or their own business. All of these people should resonate with some of what I teach. And so I'm just glad to have you with us this morning. And I'm going to start out with, we're going to do 5 steps of getting started in investing today. And I'm going to start with this first video with, you should have an emergency fund, first of all. Try to get that established and in your family and your household. That level is a 3 to 6 months, I like 6 months of earnings that will meet your full budget. Whatever that full budget level is, times 6 is where you want to get to have a solid emergency fund. And so we'll be giving you and sharing some ideas in this first video regarding that. This will help improve your balance sheet and your financial statement. And then later in another video, we'll talk about how to reduce debt, how to bring in the snowball effect of paying down bad debt and getting it out of your life. I was just reading yesterday, as a matter of fact, about the massive amount of credit card debt that Americans have in this country, and it's just continuing to rise, and that concerns everybody. But that's not a good thing. It'll weigh you down, and we'll talk about that in another video. The emergency fund is to cover unexpected bills, such as medical bills, could be a temporary job loss, or simply a breakdown in some household appliance, vehicle, that type thing that hits you, $1, $2, $3, $4, $5,000 expenditures. So you need that emergency fund there to take care of that and not be in a high stress situation over one of those occurrences, because that can happen to all of us and any of us. So we need a savings account to do that and to build that. And I recommend that you do this automatically, where you are automatically saving a certain amount out of your budget every month, and that's done on an auto pay method, so that we're certain that it gets stored. Personally, myself, I did a automatic draft out of my account into my INS bank account, and so that held my emergency fund, and it's also my investor fund where I began to invest out of. So to be certain that you do that, it's kind of a form of compulsory savings, and I think most of us need that when we're busy and we're running and we're living out our lives. If we don't have some intentionality, I've always found that that's been best for me to pay my bills, and that emergency fund should be treated as a bill, just like your power bill or your car bill, car note, those kinds of things. And so I put all of those on auto pay myself. I found that works better for my credit. It works better for certainty, and never pay late charges, and don't get stuck with a ding on your credit, by making just an oversight in your daily lives. So the emergency fund is where you want to get to first, at the first level, and then you start down the road of becoming an investor. So have a goal, have a goal of 6 months of your full budget amount monthly set aside and kept aside for that purpose. And because you'll have to dip into it for sure sooner or later. I did want to identify with you our goal of accredited investor now is that $1 million mark. You need to have $1 million in net worth, and I'm going to show you how to do that, how I did it in 10 years, and how I believe you can do it in 10 years. In some of these videos, you'll be learning that, and 10 years is a reasonable time and a rather short time compared to most. Many would probably view that as an age 65 goal, but I know you out there, you're thinking more like me. You'd like to see it much sooner rather than later, so that you can use it all of your life. And that's what the accredited investor is all about. And make that a goal, and make that a commitment with you and your spouse. If you have a spouse, contribute to that. I promise you, she'll feel more at ease when you get near that accredited investor level. I like to think of it also, somebody asked me about the breakdown or components of how that should ideally be, and personally I recommend it be half cash and maybe half assets. So whether it be whatever investment you're into, but let's say real estate, half of it in real estate equity and half of it in cash. You'll be solid in anybody's eyes if you do that. Accountants, CPAs, and your commercial banker. So those are some things I'm just sharing with you from me, from myself. You won't read that necessarily in any book, but that's what I recommend you do, and rather than just some kind of illiquid investment of $1 million worth. I want to thank you today. I want to ask you to go ahead and hit our subscribe and our like. I'll be bringing you much more financial content as we go down the road. Be sharing everything that I have learned and studied and read over the years, and actually have used to get to the accredited investor level. And then from there on, as I've said many times, that will be your biggest obstacle, will be that first level of accredited investor. So you got to have intentionality, you got to have a plan, you got to have a commitment, and it's great to have your partner on your side with that goal also, and rooting you on. So thank you for being today, and we look forward to the next video with you.